Several days later.
I've been so bad at filming in vlogs and stuff lately that I'm literally starting and filming this clip before I even finished filming the other vlog. I still have to do like an outro clip for that one because I don't even know where it's leaving off. I just know it needed to be cut off. Whew, but I feel cute and I'm going to a library book sale, so I wanted to document it. Okay, let's go. I'm already making my family not late, but I'm holding them up. Okay, let's go. Y'all, this is just a PSA that I gotta say, fruit should be slapping different in the summertime. Editing my latest vlog, got me a nice bowl of grapes and strawberries. Oh, they just look so good. The only good thing about summer is the way fruit slaps. Hey losers, let's be real, the real loser here is me. So in my last vlog, I mentioned that I started a Grisha trilogy reread, which I did. And I'm in the middle of Siege and Storm, which means I need to talk about Shadow and Bone. If you are somehow under a rock and you've never heard of the Grisha trilogy or what it's about, it follows a girl named Alina who all her life she's thought she's just this poor orphan, this scrawny girl that is just, you know, pretty ordinary. She's joins the army because she doesn't really have much else going on in her life, and that's just always been the way things have been for her. But then she discovers that she's actually a Grisha. Grisha? I say Grisha. Which means she has power. And how things work in this world is that Grisha are not magicians or witches. They draw on the little science, I think it's called, or the small science. So they take from things to create. They don't just like create it out of thin air. Alina specifically, she is a sun summoner, which they've never had before. And so they think that she can destroy this part of the country that they call the Fold, which is basically complete darkness. It was created by a darkling who is someone that has control of the second army. The first army is like peasants and poor people and normal people, and then the second army is an army of Grisha. So a darkling way back then created this weird ass fold thing, and there's monsters in it, and it's disrupting things like passing cargo and everything, you know, like it's called a trade route, you dumb bitch. Passing goods around the country. The Fold is messing this up. And so they're like, oh my god, Alina, you're our savior. And so she is taken away to the little palace where the Grisha train, and that's how the story starts off. I have not read this trilogy in 5 years, so a lot of this I feel like I'm rediscovering it. Like there's so many things that I just didn't realize I forgot about, and it's been a grand old time. I still give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. It's just so engaging and it's like impossible to put down. It's just so captivating. I love it. I've heard people say that, you know, they start with Six of Crows or they read Six of Crows now and they're like, oh, the Grisha trilogy isn't even that good, but I don't agree. This shit slaps. You can definitely tell that Leigh Bardugo has obviously grown as a writer, looking at the way Shadow and Bone is written and the way that Six of Crows is written. There's a way that Leigh Bardugo writes that she's writing young adult, but the writing itself feels like writing that is also geared to adults. Not to say that there's anything like lesser than in YA, it's just the tone is a little bit different. And it's interesting to read Shadow and Bone because I think her writing here, the tone is more typical YA, whereas in Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, I think you can definitely see how she's grown and how she's shifted the tone of her novels, and it's just really interesting. Yeah, I love this book. I love Alina so much. I love Mal. Haters, you can go away. I thought that I would reread the series, and I was worried that I wouldn't like him because so many people hate him, and I came back to reading it and I was like, why? I physically do not understand how anyone would choose the Darkling over Mal. I don't know how much I can say because I obviously don't want to spoil anything if you're watching this and you've never read this book or heard anything about it, but I fuck with Mal. The Darkling can. And yeah, that's my opinions. Maybe at some point, maybe when I'm talking about Siege and Storm. I think when I talk about Siege and Storm, I'll have to obviously talk about spoilers for this book. So when I do that, I will let you know. I am like halfway, a little over halfway through Siege and Storm. I'm enjoying it. I will say, not as good as the first book, but I am enjoying it. Hello again, friends. Since we last talked, I have finished Siege and Storm. I'm like halfway through Ruin and Rising. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit without spoiling Shadow and Bone before I talk more spoilery movie related things. I still really enjoyed this book, although I did rate it a 4-star this time rather than 5 stars, which I gave it previously. As you can see, there's still a whole bunch of tabs in this baby. There's a lot of things that I love about this one. We get to meet Nikolai in this one, and I absolutely love him. He's one of my favorite characters. The only thing that kind of brings this one down, especially compared to the first book, is that the middle is really slogged down with a lot of political happenings, which obviously a certain amount is necessary, but I think certain things just could have read a little faster. But overall, I did still love this, and my opinions didn't change on any of the characters so far. I still love Alina, Mal, Nikolai, still the Darkling can choke. I can admit that Mal has his moments in this book. He definitely gets jealous and insecure, but I think that's absolutely normal for one, a teenage boy, and two, just the situation that he's in. It's so different from his entire life. Everything that he's ever known is changing. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about spoilers for this book and Shadow of Bone. So if you haven't read those two, skip to this part. I love the dynamics in this book. Nikolai and Mal, and like when he's Sturmhound, whatever it is. It's just all so good. I love the banter that happens between all of them, and I love how things are built up. And something I realized though is that the series does not really have a love triangle or a love square, which is something that I think I just thought it had because so many people claim it does. But in my opinion, I don't see any of that. I don't see an actual romantic chemistry between Nikolai and Alina. I think they are both in a situation where coming together would help them politically and as a power move. And I think Nikolai confuses some of those feelings with actual feelings, but I don't think he really feels for Alina in that way. Alina definitely does not feel for him in that way. I think he's just a friend and a confidant, someone extra besides Mal, especially when they have their little fights to this one, that she can talk to and rely on, and that's really all I see there. As for the Darkling and Alina, they do have that dynamic of being the only people that have this kind of power, but the Darkling treats her horribly, and Alina recognizes that, and I don't think there's ever an actual viable love kind of thing right there. I mean, at the end of this book, she literally tries to kill herself just to kill him. If that's romance, then y'all are on some crack. But yeah, I have been enjoying rereading this series so much. There is so much that I've forgotten, and I just love these characters. This is also, reading this makes me wish that I had reread this series before King of Scars, because I think I would have liked King of Scars a lot more then, and I'm tempted to reread King of Scars after this, even though I only just read it this year.
Children! This interminable bickering was amusing at first. Regulate your sexual feelings for one another.
Miss Grundy. Bindi. Hi. Who needs to leave your house to see fireworks when they're literally right here? Don't know who's doing it, but thanks for the show. Who wants a reading update and some complaining? So I'm looking lovely because I just went to a doctor's appointment. I'm seeing a neurologist in addition to whoever else I see. But this new doctor, while he doesn't make me feel bad, I kid you not, he came in the room for maybe 1 minute and then he was just like, boop, 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 okay, we're gonna increase this medication that's doing not shit for you. Boop, 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 okay, done. Like, I walked out of the room and the nurse that saw me came out. She was like, Honey, did the doctor see you? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh. I blinked and it was over. Which on one hand, it's efficient, yes, but on the other, doctors are supposed to make you feel like they care about you. And this guy just makes me feel like I'm just like a number, just like money in his pocket. That's my little rant. At least I got a caramel macchiato out of it. It is so hot outside, so this is just slapping. So I didn't do any reading yesterday. It was the 4th of July. I didn't do anything for the 4th of July, but I did binge the entire season of Stranger Things. But before that, I have gotten to, I think I'm like 80% through, so I'm very close to finishing this. I could have finished it yesterday if I did things other than binge Stranger Things. Okay, so as I was saying before my camera rudely cut me off, and the reason I didn't finish it the other day when I got to, you know, this percentage is because I just needed to take a break. I got to the scene that I both love, but is also so emotional. I can't obviously talk about the scene without talking about spoilers, so I'm gonna talk about it. So if you haven't read Rune Rising and you don't want to be spoiled, skip to this part. The scene I left off on. It's Mal and Alina's last night together. They're both like, they both want to be with each other so badly because they love each other, but they also know that their paths are just not aligning, and it's just so painful. They make love for the first time and I'm just like, This is the one book where like the sex scene is so emotional that I cry during it, because there's just, it's so heavy, there's so much between them, and it's just, oh my god, the quotes in this book, like but yeah, hopefully I will get around to finishing this today. It could be emotional. I don't want to finish it. I've been loving rereading this series so much, and these characters are just so, I love them so much. This has been such a joy, like, ugh.
Are you all groomed? Yes, look at you. You're like a different dog, Miss Chihuahua.
We're getting to the big emotions. There's tears, but we've been down this road before. Feel so scattered. We need to pause. We came to chapter 18. We need a break. I'm gonna be real. I probably should not be filming this clip right now because I'm very, very cranky over something stupid, but I just want to film this so that I can get this video up, because I think I'm just gonna make this an entire Grisha vlog. I finished Ruin Rising, I think 2 nights ago now. I loved it. Can you just like see all the tabs? Especially like the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm not really tabbing this much. And then the end came and I was like using multiple tabs on. Did you see that? Oh my god, come back. Where was it? Non-spoiler feelings. I love it so much. It was crafted so well. Oh my god, there was, going into this, I don't want to say I was hesitant getting to the ending, but I remember that there was just this line that made me like not feel great about the ending. Not even when I finished it, but when someone pointed it out to me one time on Tumblr. I mean, not directly to me, but they were talking about it, and I was like, yeah. Now that I've reread this, and I've reread this epilogue, if you want to call it that, it's kind of like that. Now I'm just like, you know, it doesn't bother me. I think Libra has made it clear that Alina's story is done, but can I just get like a short story? Not even a short story length, just like a chapter in like King of Scars. There's like the next King of Scars book, just a little something. I love them and I want more. I love this series. It's really hard to not talk about spoilers and like talk about my feelings, so 5 stars. I love it. I'm gonna get into spoilers now. I just love that I get to win for once in a book. I have so many unpopular opinions on book characters and book ships, but for once I prevail, bitches. The Darkling can choke any day, every day. Meanwhile, Mal and Alina get to be married and happy and with their orphanage, and I forgot that they took Misha, the child that ends up kind of coming on the journey with them. He was sort of Bagharaz, I never know how to say that woman's name. If you know, let me know. He was like her little helper, and then when she yeeted herself for the cause, he just joined their crew. I don't remember either, because I certainly didn't. And on Cat, because Hershaw died. Like, there was so much that I just did not remember about this book, and so rereading it and rediscovering all of it was just so wonderful. And they're just these two orphans that found each other, found their homes. There's literally so many quotes back here. The end of the series is literally just sad, love that, sad, love that, Melina, sad, love that, sad, like, ugh. So many emotions at the end of this freaking book. Ugh. I honestly don't understand how people don't like Mal. I wrote this tweet, and I think it just sums it up. It's like, the Darkling is a 300-year-old asshole who doesn't take no for an answer. No means no, not to him. And he literally wants to break Alina down to nothing so that she has nothing but him, and then he can control her and use her emotionally. Like, how do y'all ship that? If that was in a contemporary novel, that's like above Colleen Hoover level toxic relationship status. If you like the Darkling as a character, I can understand that. He's a good villain. villain, quote, villain. He does have, I don't want to say redeeming qualities, but obviously I think Leigh Bardugo even said when she doesn't like writing characters that are all good or all bad, she likes the in-between because that's real. And so obviously the Darkling long time ago had good intentions at one point, and then he just went into a fucking mad, horrible monster. Do I feel bad for him? Absolutely not.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
But like, I can understand if you appreciate his character because he is a complex villain and he's interesting. I just feel like y'all are really disrespectful to Alina because every single book she's like, I love Mal, I love Mal, I love Mal, and you're just like, like, how do you stand Alina and then be like, fuck Mal? Like, she loves him and he loves her. Like, there's so many quotes I could read to you that are just make my heart swell because they love each other so much. And honestly, if you don't like Mal for whatever reason, I don't want to say I don't care because obviously part of me cares. I love him. But like, if you don't like him because he can get jealous and insecure, which is mainly in Season Storm, like his character growth is so well. He goes from this boy who has his, Alina has been his everything, right? Alina is his home. Alina is the only person he's had consistently in his life because he is an orphan. And so in book 1, his constant is taken away. His home is taken away. You know, people say home isn't a place, it's a person, and that is the case for Mal and Alina. And so yeah, he's gonna go through emotions in the first book, a lot in the second book. He can get jealous and insecure because he feels like suddenly he doesn't fit into her world, and that's hard on him and it's hard on Alina. These are just genuine human emotions, and I don't understand why he's burned at the stake for these things, because people don't just not like Mal. They're not just like, oh, I'm not a fan of him, because if that was it, I'd be fine. People hate him with a passion, and he does not do anything in this series to deserve that whatsoever. There's no reasoning for it. I'm sorry. I know some of you who are very good friends of mine who feel this way, and this is where we're just gonna have to agree to disagree, because I don't understand the passionate hatred, because he does nothing to deserve that. He is not the toxic person in this story. He is the protagonist. He is the main love interest. He loved Alina before she was powerful. Nikolai was attracted to Alina because, yeah, it was someone who he felt he could do so much well with, and they were really good friends. So he was like, you know, I would like to have a friend here. I think I could like her. I could fall in love with her maybe. But that doesn't work out because Alina knows it, and I think Nikolai knows it too, that they weren't meant in that capacity. If it was just power related and politics related, as it is until the end where Alina no longer has her power, which we'll get into that in a moment, that was the only way they worked as a ship, you know? I love their friendship. I love Nikolai so much. And there's that part at the end where it kind of just like hints that he goes and visits them, Alina and Mal at their orphanage, and so does like Toila and Tamar and Zoya, and it's that makes my heart warm so much because they all love each other. They're like, they're bonded, and As for Alina and the Darkling, he was always this toxic person. In a different life, could they have been a powerful couple? Absolutely. But not with the way the Darkling was. He was far gone. So far gone. And he didn't want her in the right ways. He didn't want her as a lover, as a true lover, because when he realizes that she doesn't have her power anymore, he says, you're nothing now. I'm sorry, huh? Choke on your own spit, you piece of trash. But Mal, he loved Alina when she wasn't powerful, when she was powerful, and again, when she had lost her power. That never mattered to him. I don't know why this became a like Mal campaign, but I don't understand why people passionately hate them. If you didn't root for him for Alina, if he's not like your choice, that's one thing, but passionately hating someone who's done nothing but loved and supported the main protagonist, he literally gave his life for the cause. He was ready to accept that him and Alina were not going to be on the same path. That's his character arc, his character growth. He goes through so much growth from Season Storm to Ruin and Rising. It's beautiful. I don't understand how you could think any other way. Now getting back to Alina losing her power and Mal losing his as well, because he may not have been a Grisha, but he was something else. He had that connection to the world. And there's this part at the end where they say sometimes she would see the girl moving her fingers in the window with the light, and Mal would like look around outside in the woods, and they would both have this sadness about them. And that was originally the thing that I almost thought going into this, maybe this wouldn't be a 5-star, maybe it'd be 4.5. Maybe I would tack something off for that, because I do not really enjoy that's how Alina and Mal are both left feeling. However, when I read the full epilogue again, I was at peace with it, because at the end of the day, they did go to war and they sacrificed everything, including what had made them at some point. Mal with his connection to the world, and Alina, even though she only used her power for a short amount of time, it made her feel so much better. And I do hate that that's how it ends, that they're both left feeling with this emptiness. But let me read the part that just like kind of made up for it. It's literally this page where you see it's literally like, I love this, that's sad, I love this. Actually, this should have a Melina on it too, but so it talks about how they are sad, right? And then it says, but then the hour would pass and the teachers would catch them giggling in a dim hallway or kissing by the stairs. Besides, most days were too full for morning. There were classes to teach, meals to prepare, letters to write. When evening fell, the boy would bring the girl a glass of tea, a slice of lemon cake, an apple blossom floating in a blue cup. He would kiss her neck and whisper her name, whisper new names in her ear. Beauty, beloved, cherished, my heart. They had an ordinary life full of ordinary things, if love can ever be called that. That's the perfect ending. I don't see how you could read that and be like, ugh, stupid Mal. Ugh, he brings Alina tea and makes her happy. Ugh. Okay, I've been talking for so long. This is a literally 15-minute clip. Holy shit, editing me. I'm so sorry. But those are my thoughts on Ruin Rising, mainly the end, obviously, because I think I talked more about it in other clips. It was great. I love Nikolai, I love Mal, I love Alina, the Darkling can choke. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Grisha trilogy. The series still slaps. People said that it's not that great now that they've read Six of Crows and stuff, and I disagree. I think it's amazing, and it will always be one of my favorite series, and Mal and Alina and Nikolai will always be some of my favorite characters. Sorry, I'm not sorry that I went on a rambling rant about Mal, because y'all treat him like trash and it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't understand it. And clearly Leigh Bardugo doesn't either, because I know she gives side eye to y'all that are like, oh, the Darkling, perform the cut on me. Okay, I won. That's what matters. Actually, you know what matters is that Alina won, because she got the best person who makes her happy, and she's living her best life, and it's so beautiful. I love her. I love the Grisha trilogy. This vlog is over. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.